Imagine if everyone's health experience could be used to improve the quality of health care for future generations. Imagine each person's experience brought together in a way that could improve the diagnosis and tests, refine treatments with new drugs, improve the safety and quality of health services, at the same time as protecting each person's privacy. Information on our health is recorded in many places during our lives, as we visit our local doctor and hospital, as well as information recorded in health departments. Currently, most of this data is kept in separate data stores where it is secure and private, but very difficult to use to answer questions on how to improve people's treatment, diagnosis, and quality of care, and even what influences that may have affected their health. What BioGrid enables is linking people's health records in a way that protects the privacy of the data by removing identifying information such as name, and providing the appropriate data to researchers skilled in this research. BioGrid protects all the data in the following ways. Data is only available in a de-identified form. BioGrid's processes are approved by human ethics committees. The data requests must be approved by the data owners. The researchers and the research must be approved by the BioGrid management and the scientific advisory committee. All data requests are audited. Data and transmissions use correct, highly secure technology, bank safe. So, how does this happen? Let's illustrate the BioGrid process by looking at the case of John Smith. John is suffering from gastro problems. He sees a gastroenterologist and has a colonoscopy performed at Hospital A. John is then referred to a surgeon. During the consultation, the surgeon enters John's personal details and clinical data to the hospital database. He then asks John's permission to make the data available through BioGrid. John agrees to this. The surgeon removes the cancerous tissue. During the procedure, more data is collected automatically. During John's stay in hospital, the surgeon takes notes on the surgical outcome. He then enters these notes manually into the database, together with pathology results. John is referred to an oncologist. Additional data is added to John's files, and a course of chemotherapy is prescribed. John recovers, but decides to make a new start in another city. After some time, however, he develops a persistent headache and visits Hospital B. John sees an oncologist who refers him to a neurologist. The neurologist asks for John's permission to make the data available through BioGrid, and John agrees to this. Since it is John's first visit to this hospital, a new database entry is created with his updated address details. The neurologist prescribes an MRI scan. However, the hospital doesn't have an MRI facility, so John has to visit Hospital C. During the consultation, John gives his permission to make the data available through BioGrid. The scan is performed, and the collected images are stored in that hospital's brain database. At this stage, John's health data is already spread out over 3 separate databases. The first condition for health data to be made available through BioGrid is that the identity of the patient is protected. This is achieved by an elaborate system of linkage keys. Firstly, the personal identifiers in a patient's health record are extracted and then encrypted for safe transfer to a high-security linkage key service. After decrypting, the identifiers are checked against other entries in a database. If the new entry is unique, the personal identifiers are replaced by a new 10-digit linkage key, which is sent back to the hospital. It is now possible to access John's clinical data from all 3 hospitals via BioGrid, and the linkage key ensures that John remains anonymous. Incidentally, a researcher, Dr. Green, is studying the connection between bowel cancer and brain tumors. If he could access the clinical records from patients such as John, he may well make a crucial discovery. Initially, relevant database owners must be identified, so Dr. Green does a BioGrid search. 3 major database owners are found, namely hospitals A, B, and C that John visited previously. Dr. Green proceeds to request permission from the database owners to use their data. After checking Dr. Green's credentials, the database owners grant their permissions. Dr. Green has now reached the next checkpoint, permission from BioGrid management and the Scientific Advisory Committee. After some deliberation, Dr. Green's request is approved and he's presented with a logon ID number. Having successfully negotiated his way into BioGrid, Dr. Green is now allowed to access the clinical data from the data owners that gave him their permissions. He enters his logon ID number, and the clinical data is then transmitted from the data owners to his terminal. The corresponding linkage keys are transferred together with the data items. He will not see the identity of the individual patients, only the linkage keys together with each data entry. Dr. Green analyzes the data and is then able to draw some extremely valuable conclusions. This turns out to be of great benefit to the scientific community, healthcare planners, and, most importantly, it will offer new breakthroughs in the treatment of patients. Without BioGrid, this would not have been possible.